Hi and welcome to this Easter edition of the Rector's Room. I'm doing an English version today because I wanted to make sure that you get all the information about the exams right. But please check out the Norwegian version as well, as there might be some other stuff there that is important for you guys to get. This is basically Easter break. School is still closed, but we expect to hear some news from the authorities this week. If we're allowed to reopen gradually from next week on, we will of course let you know. But we do already have most of the plans in place. Last week, the study committee adopted a plan for this year's final exams. The plan itself is quite detailed, but here are the 5 key points. There will be no final recitals for second year students. You will all be assessed on everything you've done so far in the first and second years in the main instrument, projects, chamber music, forums, all the work requirements that are part of the main instrument subject. And the grade will be pass or fail. Graduating students from bachelor, diploma and masters will have final recitals, but there will be some modification. It all depends on what restrictions still apply in May and June. But you should expect that there might not be an audience in the hall, that there might be restrictions on how many performers can be on stage, that we may have to shorten the requirements for repertoire and the duration of the concert, and that the jury might have to assess based on a recording or a video. We are planning on doing as many concerts as possible before the summer, but we know that some will be postponed to August, September. Again, this depends on what restrictions are still in place. If the current situation makes it necessary to postpone many concerts until August, we may have to delay the start of the next semester by a week or 2, or worst case 3. We hope to avoid this, but it is simply a matter of workload and availability of spaces. And finally, if it's completely impossible for you to do your exam before the summer, you may apply to do it later, but this needs to be done in agreement with your main instrument teacher. On the other hand, if your exam is scheduled for August and you absolutely have to do it before the summer, we'll find a way to make this work. This plan presupposes that we will be allowed to resume our activities at some point after the Easter break. We don't know that yet, but the government has promised some clarification this week. As soon as we know anything, we'll start planning the exams, and you will get the details before the 1st of May. Summing up, no final recitals for second year students. Recitals for graduating bachelors and masters will happen, but restrictions are likely. Most final exams will happen before the summer, but some after. The start of the autumn term could be postponed by 1 to 3 weeks. All of you will be allowed to conclude your studies, and more details before 1st of May. I suspect many of you are disappointed, and I guess many are worried about how this is going to work out. I also expect many of you to find this situation really, really inconvenient. None of us could have imagined that the academic year would end up like this. But in light of what's happening in the world, now is the time to roll up our sleeves and make the best out of the situation. And the very best right now is for all students to complete their studies with a relevant and meaningful final assessment. We believe this plan allows us to do that, but we need to do it together. Keep sending these suggestions, ideas, messages, whatever. I read all of it and I answer most of it. And if anything significant happens over Easter, I will let you know. Enjoy the break, take care and stay safe. See you soon.